What's going on, guys? I'm back with another episode of a TV movie podcast. And today I got for you another Big Brother podcast where we talk about the events that happened in the Big Brother house this past week. And as you guys know, Rachel won the HOH and she decided to put up Mickey, Morgan, and Vince. 3 huge targets. Those 3 are probably running the house the most, doing the most talking. And they probably, all 3, probably have the best social game of the season. So Rachel definitely made a powerhouse move. Yeah, and then we head to the veto competition. Lauren and Will are selected to play. And it looked like Will was saying he would use the veto on Mickey if he won. But Lauren, on the other hand, she's heavily wavering on whether to use the veto on Vince or not if she wins. And the veto is OTEV. And this is an iconic veto competition, so people are going extra hard to try to win this. And Lauren pulls it out, she wins it. Good job, Lauren. But now she has a tough decision to make. Is she gonna use the veto or is she not gonna use it? And when she has her first conversation with Rachel, basically gives her like the green light to use it, you know? At least that's what Lauren thinks. But in Rachel's mind, she was just trying not to pressure Lauren into doing what she wanted, which is not to have Lauren use the veto. So Rachel doesn't want Lauren to use the veto, but she kind of encourages Lauren to do what she wants. And Lauren takes it as like, hey, Rachel's okay with me using the veto, when really Rachel's not okay with it. And so when Lauren tells Rachel eventually that she's going to use the power of veto, then Rachel kind of pushes back. Then Lauren becomes more, unsure of whether to use it or not. And then you see the whole segment of her trying to avoid Rachel, trying to talk to Vince, tell Vince that she's not sure, then go back to Rachel, that tells Rachel that she is sure that she's gonna use the veto on Vince. And it's just a whole thing, right? So, but we later see that she eventually chooses to use the veto on Vince, forcing Rachel to put up Rylie. And Rachel didn't have to put up Rylie, but she decided to. I think this was a smart decision because Rylie is a huge threat to win. If he didn't go up on the block, then when was he going to? Nobody was saying his name, and he's already won a freaking HOH and a blockbuster. So he's proven to be good at competition. So it's almost like, who else? There was no one else that would have been a better nomination, in my opinion. So next to those 2 big threats, Mickey and Morgan. So I think she made the right move putting up Rylie. But a lot of people were upset, in the house, especially Kat and people on that side of the house. So we head to the blockbuster, and bro, I was just dumbfounded by the logic of these people, because this is what the blockbuster competition is. Basically, you have 2 minutes to roll a ball down this balance beam, and it's either gonna fall on the left or the right side. And the further along you balance your ball, the better score you're probably gonna get, because the higher numbers are at the end. So when Rylie rolled an okay score, a 29, he did the smart thing, which was to wait to see what other people would score. But there was so much time on the clock. It's bro, you could have gotten a better score. You didn't have to lock that score in. And he decided to lock that score in after Morgan locks her score in, which I don't know why Morgan even locked her score in, because there was still a lot of time on the clock still. So it just didn't make sense for those 2 to lock in so early when Mickey was still going. All Mickey had to do was just wait for the other 2 to lock in their score, and then all Mickey had to do was just take her sweet old time to just roll a better score. And that's what she did. And we didn't even get to see it because they missed it. The freaking cameraman missed it, but we didn't even get to see it, but Mickey scored a 38, and that was the score, and Mickey won the blockbuster. But like I said, poorly executed from both Morgan and especially Rylie, who was in the middle and could see both of their scores. So just like Rylie said in his exit interview with Julie, he deserved to go home after that poor performance in the blockbuster, in my opinion. The vote that sent him home was 5-4, and Vince and Ava were the ones to flip and make this vote 5-4 in favor of Morgan staying. So they were wavering whether or not to vote out Morgan or Rylie, and it came down to a last minute decision, because they weren't sure whether what they were gonna do if Morgan and Rylie were the last two people sitting on the block. So it really just came down to a last minute decision. And I'm pretty sure Vince wanted Morgan to stay, but he just had to convince Ava. And if he wasn't able to do it, then I think maybe Vince would have still voted for Morgan, but it just would have been a tied vote. And yeah, but I think it was a smart decision to keep Morgan over Rylie, because Rylie was gonna win the game, bro. He really was gonna win the game. Nobody was gonna put him on the block. Everybody in the house seemed to like him. So I think that was a smart move. It was almost like getting rid of Zach again. You know what I mean? Just except Rylie had a showmance, and like having a showmance in like the final 6, that's 2 out of 6 votes, bro. So like that's 1/3 of the votes. You need to get rid of a showmance. You don't want 2 votes being automatically used against you if you're not tight with that showmance. So I think Vince made the right call here. And then we head to the HOH, which is a famous wall comp. We got that live. I'm so happy we got that live, because it's always fun to watch the HOH competitions live. I don't know why they stopped doing it, but they did. But at least we got this. And I was tuning in live, and I tuned in when Lauren was still up there. It sucked to see her drop, but at least we saw Vince win the head of household. I'm rooting for Vince, man. I got him winning the game. I picked him to win the game ever since the first episode dropped. So he's been my winner picked. And yeah, so I think what's best for Vince is to put up at least Mickey, you know, have her be like the house target, because she is. And you can also put up Kat, because he tried to make a deal with Kat. You know, it was just him and Kat left in the competition on the wall. And he tried to make a deal with her, but she didn't want to do it. So you got to put her up, because she clearly doesn't want to work with you. And the third nominee doesn't have to be Rachel. I would put her up just because to play it safe, you know, but you know, you still have that judges alliance with her. So maybe don't put her up, maybe backdoor her so you don't piss off your alliance members. So I would say maybe just put up like an Ava, because she put you up. But if you're trying to build that relationship with Ava, don't put her up. And then maybe have like Kelly nominate herself, because she's done that before on your HOH. And yeah, so I think he should just not try to have Kelly nominate herself. So have Kelly on the block with Kat, and then with Mickey as the house target. But really, you have plans to backdoor Rachel Rylie, because she's on a freaking roar right now, bro. She's on a tear right now with this last HOH, getting rid of the biggest threat to win the game. Like, now Rachel's the biggest threat to win the game. So you need to get her out now while she's scorching hot. But guys, this is it for this video. Thanks for listening and watching with me. It's been a TV and movie podcast. And we'll see you in the next video. Bless up. Peace.
Doomsday, this gon' be your doomsday. You ain't doing nothing today, so cancel all your plans, cause this will be your doomsday.